Okay, can you play Path of Exile 2 co-op? Like, is it fun? The answer is yeah, it is. Can you play it shared screen, like couch co-op? Yes, you freaking can. And what's that like? Well, let's talk about it. That's what I want to do. Playing Path of Exile reminded me of all the times where I, late at night, I want to jam, I want to play a game, but like, I don't want to play like alone, or I don't necessarily want to jump into an online game and experience, well, a bunch of strangers telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing, with my class. But dang, sometimes you really just want to couch co-op something. I want to go back. I want to, can you take me back? Like Magic School Bus me, Rick and Morty portal me to like the 90s again. Which, yeah, I don't know. Maybe for some of you, I'm old. I guess I'm 33, turning 33 in a couple days. So happy birthday to me. I got myself Path of Exile 2 so I can jam to it. But surprisingly, I logged in and I saw, because I have controllers connected to my laptop, that I could press A to have player 2 jump in, and I freaked out. I did not play originally solo. The first thing that I did, and my focus so far for a dozen hours, has been playing as a shared screen experience. Couch co-op. And not only that, but I'm playing a mercenary, and my partner is also playing a magic shoot 'em up with minions. Like, straight up, we are just playing a twin stick shooter, just like the old days. Now, I know we've had a few of these here and there. There's a couple of niche examples that have gone viral, and I really appreciated them. There's even one that's a no-stick shooter, or whatever, like Vampire Survivors. A lot of fun can come from like these waves, hordes of enemies. You're just gunning them down. It's just like real cheesy arcade action. And I feel like Path of Exile is deceptive in like its darkness and like with its poetry and like with its complexity. The truth is Path of Exile 1, I think even especially, is such an arcade experience. And now with 2, while there is some more sincere elements, such as Souls-like rolling and like some harder boss fights, more focused, like combo-oriented interactions, it doesn't matter, guys. It's still totally just like a twin stick shooter. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than like, it's so very radical. Like, I hear the guitars. I don't know, like my character might as well just be skateboarding and kick flipping around. Like, that's what it feels like playing this game. I feel like I'm eating Pizza Hut, freaking cheesiest stuffed crust pizza. I just slapped in a demo disc. I'm like 9 years old again, and I'm experiencing something totally new for the first time, but new with someone. I'm sharing that with a best friend, with a partner, wife, I don't know, maybe a child. I don't know if Path of Exile is for children, but you know what I mean? Like, this is something that you can share, and that makes the experience. So, enough of that emotional blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about, like, is it actually really good? Maybe I'm just being sentimental. Pros, cons, etc. Should you be playing Path of Exile like this? And I will start, I'm going to say that I know most people aren't going to play the game like this, but I think it's really awesome that the developers, Grinding Gear Games, have decided to put this into this title. Because honestly, I think I wouldn't have played it as hard or as much or be as so in love. So that's me personally. But I know most people who have played Path of Exile 1 and generally play action RPGs, you tend to play solo. And it's really only recently that we've kind of started to break away from that, where people started to play games like Lost Ark, or there's been a few MMOs where you co-op and play together. I'm a big fan of like games like Monster Hunter, sure, and I do need to jump into Lost Ark, absolutely, now that I'm really sinking my teeth into, I think, my first proper ARPG experience, even though I'm saying it's like a twin stick shooter, so how proper is it? I don't know, but yeah, no, I mean, I beat, all the story acts of the original Path of Exile, but this is the first time where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to end game, I'm going to grind, I'm going to play, and I'm going to replay. I'm going to not just play solo, I'm going to play multiple times solo, I'm going to play multiple times co-op online, and I'm going to invite more people over just to jam and party it out with me, as if Path of Exile was a party game. I'm going to treat it like that, because I just think it's that radical. It's really just that fun. You don't need to go like all the way to endgame. You don't need to see the full story. You don't need to see all of Path of Exile to get something genuinely special. And luckily, that's really cool, because you can see that, you get hooked, and then you can move on, so on and so forth, hopefully continue your journey through the Path of Exile, which I continue to, and my partner does as well. So that's awesome. Now, the controls and everything, the camera, okay, like how functional was it? What was the frame rate? The balance of it? You want to know now. You're intrigued, right? Well, okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Well, I hope I've excited you, but there is some hard truths to come around here. When you play split screen, it's not like they get their own account or whatever. So if they eventually do want to get the game and continue to play on the character is on your account. So in fact, you already can just let them use multiple characters that you've played so that people can jump in and out. Like it's not a mechanically intensive game exactly, depending on the build. Like if you wanted to just play solo and level up and you wanted someone to just jump in and just shoot some stuff, you probably could totally do that. They could just pick one of the characters, or they can make a character their own. And then once you actually get into the game, I know a lot of people want to just go ahead and immediately look at the passive skill tree or galaxy that it is, and talk about how hard or difficult the game is. But no, I played it solo as well after the fact of playing it co-op, because co-op, the difficulty felt really good. In fact, it felt so good that I was like, wait, everyone said this game was hard, and this is about the difficulty that kind of is, what they were talking about. But let me go play solo. I played solo and I literally I'm just walking through the game. So I don't know what your mileage is or what build, or maybe it is very build dependent, or how, your perspective of how you play, your schema from other games. Look, I don't know. But all I'm saying is like, I think it might actually be easier solo. So if you want like a good difficulty, like it's fun to play duo, yeah, jump in, dude. It's totally cool. Like it's not going to make you overpowered. It's not going to be too difficult either. I will say that some bosses have some jumps in challenge, which just seems to be the criticism overall with the game. But overall, like I just had such a great time. The only awkwardnesses I would have to say is I don't know the balance of the looting. As everyone is already complaining, we don't get enough loot. But then again, even co-op, where we're both sharing loot, well, I don't know. Things pretty much worked out. It was kind of fine. I think we really only grinded like one time, really, where we're like, oh, I really need some skill gems because I and they misplaced some skill gems, and we did some bad stuff. And that's just going to happen with experimentation, something I wholeheartedly promote. Love the playful mentality, but it's going to happen. And so if you need to grind, or if you're trying to get something for your build, it is a little awkward to be like, oh, hey, do you mind grinding with me, because we are playing together, so like, But in the end, I don't even think it was necessary. It was just it was a fun. Like, we wanted to grind. We wanted to see, the power fantasy of our classes. We wanted that to come to life. And I will say that the final boss of Act 1, yeah, that was a challenge. Cinema, though. Cinema, absolutely. But this video is just saying, hey, the co-op, the balance overall that I felt was really in line with what I expected. In fact, I was surprised that it actually did have challenge that reminded me of like Souls-likes. We never repeated a boss more times than, like, you can sometimes fight like dozens of times, in a Souls-like experience, right? No, that didn't happen. I think the most we repeated a boss was like 6, 7 times, definitely under 10 times. We didn't hit double digits. So that was that. It was a lot of fun, and that was, of course, with my gamer skills really carrying us. Just kidding. But it was really cool to be able to also see another class and their builds and their mentality, their philosophy of creating a character, all right there on my screen. That's something you don't always get in games. You can play MMOs and you can play online games, but sharing an experience in person on the same screen with someone else gives you an education and gives you an entertainment. And honestly, it creates a memory and experience that you just can't get somewhere else. There's a reason why people like me love, and champion party games. We love co-op games. We love, games like me. I spent hundreds of dollars in dozens of hours just looking for freaking Rock Band peripherals because I love that experience. It's something special. It's something magical. I'll always champion it. So my bias. But with all that being said, what about some cons? Like some awkwardnesses, really. The screen. You're sharing a screen and it's top down. And so here's the thing. When I was making my character, obviously I had in mind, it's like, okay, twin stick shooter. They're also going to be a twin stick shooter. We can be near the center of the screen together and kind of just shoot around. It's not so big of a deal. That'll work. But what if somebody was trying to play like a sniper archer class, but then I was maybe like a really fast-paced assassin monk? Then I would constantly be at the edge of the screen. They would be at the edge of the screen. Monsters would show up behind them. Or, I think theoretically that's possible. But in the end, that's just, look, you have a second person helping you, Like, even with all the balancing and everything, you're kind of at an advantage. Maybe, the screen being a little clunky to work around, I don't know, maybe that's sort of an equalizer of sorts. And it was. The numbers of times that we have died from us going in opposite directions or something like that really was not that many. And I don't know, maybe we work together. Maybe, I don't know. No, we don't. I play enough co-op cooking games to know I do not work with this person, with my partner. So it was very frictional. There was, she's a little loot goblin. That just happened. It happens, but in the end, with all the friction possible with like the screen and how you can't actually extend past where like your teammate is, like if they're trying to go in opposite direction, the screen will just freeze and you can't see very far. Even with all of that, playing with a controller, which you would think would be less fidelity, all these things actually worked. Frankly, it worked flawlessly. Everything just worked. And I'm really surprised more people aren't talking about how awesome of an experience this was. So that's why I'm doing this. Hey, couch co-op Path of Exile 2. Eventually this game's going to be released for free. There's going to be no reason not to. I know a lot of people co-op through Diablo 3, Diablo 4. A lot more people are playing online. And I myself, I'm championing like game invasions and cooperation. Like join the Discord video game party club. Like let's have fun. That's what we're all about. And I'm noticing more and more people are trying to get this sort of social experience from video games. More and more people are going out to activity/arcade-like experiences. There is a hunger for going to like fighting game tournaments and LAN parties. There's a hunger for this because in our everyday life, we kind of haven't been getting that recently. So every opportunity where you can do it, I think you have like an obligation to do it. Even if maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to play Path of Exile, I'm going to be competitive, I'm going to be doing mapping and leagues, and it's going to be awesome. But you especially, who knows the love and truth and the arcade radicalness of Path of Exile, I feel like you have a moral obligation to sit someone down, give them a controller, and say, look, we're about to shoot up a bunch of zombies, and it's going to be dope. That's pretty much it. You don't have to get too philosophical or anything, guys. It's just, we're having fun. But to me, this fun is really important. It's serious, and we need more of it. A lot of people are going through life, and they don't get these kind of things. Maybe we or I grew up with it, and so I know it's special. I'm telling you, and now it's your turn. Share the love, guys. Path of Exile 2 is a lot of fun. I got more videos coming, rants and rambles, but just specifically the couch co-op. It's pretty freaking great. And also, I guess as an aside, because I was using controllers, does it feel good to play with a controller? I'm pretty sure everybody's going to say, yep, pretty much. I think, you could probably make a build that's really fun and good with mouse and keyboard, and it might not work with controller very well, but like, I love all the systems, the accessibility. I love that I can mix and match and move around abilities on my controller, like the key bindings. It really creates an awesome, fun experience. Dare I say, once again, a radical experience. The physical, mechanical feeling of pressing these buttons, seeing all the explosion and the zombie guts flying everywhere, and and being able to just have anybody else also come and interact and play a game, because it's not like, oh, what button does what? It's like they are the ones who are setting their buttons, and so they know intrinsically, and the game teaches it very well. Now, in saying that, the game doesn't teach you everything very well, so maybe I got more rants on that and rambles, but there's tons of guides, tons of tutorials, etc. That a lot of people have done. So this is a game that I think is very difficult to translate to people who have not been like an ARPG gamer, or really maybe even they don't even associate as a gamer. So yeah, more than ever now, this is a game that actually has accessibility options that I think lets anybody jump in. Now, I don't think you can't do 4-player. That would probably be way ridiculous. But dang, playing this game co-op really actually, a lot of people are not going to agree with me. But I don't care. I'm gonna live my truth. Playing this game shared screen co-op to me actually feels peak. It feels like this is how I want to play the game. This is my chosen way to play Path of Exile 2. Obviously, with all my biases and everything, there it is. But let me know your thoughts and feelings. And if you guys give it a shot, let me know how it felt for you. What classes are you playing, etc. How are you having fun with Path of Exile 2? And hey, if you make videos too, let's collab or something. Let's share the love. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.